Bruce Forsyth, Jimmy Tarbuck, Tommy Cooper, Janet Brown, Ted Rogers, Marilyn, Bob Monkhouse, Lindsay DePaul, Susie Quattro, Michael Barrymore, and Amy MacDonald, in an audience with Joan Rivers. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Joan Rivers.
First of all, I am so thrilled to be here. I just want you to know that. And England to me is just the best, okay? There are only two things that I really hate about America when I look at England. One is we don't have any national monuments like you do. Our oldest national monument is Joan Collins, and which we talk about that one later. And the other thing is the year 1776 upsets me. One, because we broke with you in that year, and two, because it's Elizabeth Taylor's dress size. Oh, please. This woman is so fat that she put on a red dress, 30 school kids tried to board her. She and Burton are known as Hamlet and Piglet. But, so I just thought I'd come out here and we could talk a little bit, and you could ask me some things, and I could answer some questions, and see what happens. Remember, we helped you during the war. So, so don't ask anything vicious. Would anybody like to know anything?
Yeah, did you have a good flight over?
Did I have a good flight over? I had a lousy flight over, as a matter of fact, which I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I know. What can I tell you? They lost all my luggage. What is it? It was BOAC. It's now Brit Air, right? Oh, please. They lost all my luggage. I'm staying there in Heathrow Airport, and the pilot walks through wearing my dress. Everything I'm wearing in front of you has been lent to me or found. This dress, which I like. Isn't this a pretty dress? Thank you. I found this dress on the chair next to my husband's bed. Isn't that lucky? And it came with its own garter belt and stockings and shoes and a little diaphragm. And it was just... But what I found interesting about flying over here is because I hate Americans. American stewardesses are very bitchy. I don't know if you're aware of this. And I found out that English stewardesses top them. They are so... please? To a stewardess, my window's open, not my oil. And they couldn't care less. They look at you and they go like, you know, where's my seat? 3 inches below where it was last year. They are just vicious. Because to the men, stewardesses are all over them. Stewardesses, they have no underwear. That's why stewardesses marry very rich. I don't know if you're aware of this. Stewardesses marry richer in the States than any other class of woman working today. It's because they don't wear underwear and they're always getting men blankets. You know, it's the whole like, you know, let me get you another blanket. Sit by the window, you see the earth. Sit by the eye, you see the moon. And it's just vicious. And they mean, the only people, I started to say, and it's because I'm nervous because I'm talking in your English, and I feel like you're saying, look at the accent. But anyway, the only women that are meaner, I think, than stewardesses are nurses who are just the pits. Or, to women? To a woman? Nurses to women? When I was in labor, the nurse apple pied my bed. I could do, I had my child as a joke. The nurse brought out a puppy wrapped in a blanket, brought it in, looks like you. It's just, oh, you're pregnant! Or fat. Isn't that great? What month are you? What month are you?
8.5.
8.5. Oh, that, your first?
Yes.
Oh, so what are you gonna have? A child? No, I know a child. Surprise! Little puppy. No, I mean, boy or girl? Do you know? You don't know? You can have natural childbirth?
I want to. I hope to.
Oh God, why? I had a Jewish delivery, which is they knock you out with the first pain. They wake you up when the hairdresser shows. Doing the exercises and the breathing and all that stupidity?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't be ashamed to ask for help when it's, you know, oh, when I was in labor, when I was having my child, I screamed. When I was having my child, ah! And that was just during conception. Are you excited?
Oh, yes.
Are you going to take pictures?
You can take pictures?
Are you going to go in the delivery room? Oh, barf. Oh, artist, she's an actress, right? And she's married to Richard Benjamin, who's an actor. They took home movies of their child being born, which is their business. But then they invite their friends over to see. Here comes the kid having an hors d'oeuvre. I said, I don't know. Run that film back, let's see that kid disappear. Are you gonna nurse?
I'm gonna nurse.
Are you gonna nurse? Yeah. Oh, God, why? You're not from Beverly Hills, then, are you? No, Beverly Hills, the women don't nurse because kids are allergic to plastic. You know why? Because I'm supposed to ask you a question, but I'll just tell you, then I'll stop. The reason it's lovely is because my daughter, I have a daughter, Melissa, who is 15 years old today, and I was feeling very blue because I'm here and she's in the States, and you should be as lucky with your child as I've been with mine. I have such a nice little girl, knock on wood, thank God. And 15 years ago tonight, I was in New York City in Lenox Hill Hospital going, get this out of me! And 15 years ago, 9 months tonight, I was saying the same thing. Not a great joke. Marie Osmond told me that joke. I hate the Osmonds. You like them? I hate goody-goodies. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people say to me, oh, you say what you think. But, I mean, I hate, like, giddy. Marie Osmond, she makes Mother Teresa look like a slut. I mean, just like, she's so good. Her knees have been together longer than the shadows. Anybody else want to ask anything of me or the nursing mother? So yes.
Do you buy your own clothes?
Do I buy my own clothes? Why? Oh, my. No, actually, I found this dress in the closet right next to Truman Capote, but that's, oh, grow up, please. I buy all my own because I'm married 17 years, you know, so you don't wait for your husband to give you anything. If I waited for when you're married, how long are you married?
8 years.
5 years. Who said 8 years? Somebody just called. Oh, the man that asked the question.
Yeah.
Are you married 8 years? Oh, well, see, do you still buy your wife like cutesy wootsy things?
No.
No. See, it's all exactly. You know what I'm telling you? It's all over, right? So, if I wanted a fur coat because I used to say I don't want fur coat because I don't want anything they have to kill. And then I figured, screw it. Let me find a lot of minks that had heart attacks. And oh sure, they're gonna die anyhow, so I'll put you on now. So he bought me in 17 years of marriage. He bought me a hamster coat. You know how depressing that is? Every time you put it on, you want to run around inside a wheel. And a friend of mine waited 21 years, and her husband bought her what he said was a fox coat. But I'm telling you, it was squirrel, because I never saw a fox with a nut in its paws. So I buy all my own clothes. You should buy your wife a gift, don't you think? Yeah, 8.5 years, you get a good ring at least? How'd you do? Can I come up and see your ring? How did you do with your ring? Let me see let me see your ring. Let me see your ring. I love you so much, Marilyn. Let me see your ring. If you were straight, it would be all over the place. Where's your diamond? Where's your diamond? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Oh. Poor bitch. That's it. Did you have to get married? Why did you take such a shitty ring? Is that what? No, don't be ashamed. Yes, you should. You're a very good-looking girl. Stand up. You're a very pretty girl. Shouldn't you get a bigger ring than this little piece of crap on your head? What do you do for a living?
Designers.
You're designers and you accepted that? Helen Keller would have felt it and said no. Get a big ring, I'm telling you. You're not Jewish, are you? You're Jewish? I'm going back to the States. I wouldn't give that ring to an Arab. And I'm Jewish. I'm in shock. We'll talk later. You must really be lousy in bed. Ring like that. Anybody else want to know anything? Yes. Oh, hello. Yes.
Hello. Joan, when I went over to Los Angeles and then to San Francisco, I felt terribly lost there. Not the sort of feeling of the place. Now, how do you feel about being in London? What's the feeling for you?
Fabulous. You want to know the truth? You're waiting for a joke. Fabulous. I am so happy to be here. It's just the best city in the whole world. I know I shouldn't say that, but because I have to go back to New York and go, yeah, well. But, New York is a very tough city. Oh, please. The washer dryer has a rape cycle. That's why women have firm bodies and boobs and carrying your pocketbook night and day. It won't get stolen. But my favorite city next to London, though, is San Francisco because it's gay, and I love gay people. Have you ever been to San Francisco? The Marlboro Man rides side saddle. The whole city is just... They teach the kids in school A, C, D, C, E, F, G. They bury the men the way they lived in life, face down. It is the gayest... But that's my second favorite city, San Francisco. I love it. Anybody else? Yes. Hello.
Do you tell Melissa the facts of life?
My daughter. Well, I had to tell. See, my mother, which is interesting. Again, I don't know sometimes if it's universal or different countries or different cities act differently. My mother never told me the facts of life, which I think really messed me up. How many women, just can we see, show of hands, how many women's parents told them the facts of life?
None.
Isn't that interesting? How many women were not told? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? My mother never told me anything. First of all, she looked at me, she figured she'll never need to know. But just give her dog food and let her have a drink. But my mother never told me a damn thing. I asked my mother, where am I from? She gave me a fake address in Cleveland. All she told me was man gets on top, woman gets on the bottom. I bought bunk beds. When I got my period, I tied a tourniquet around my waist. I knew nothing. Nothing. My wedding night, he said to me, I'm going to blow in your ear. I said, use a Kleenex. My wedding night, which is why I am now so sick sexually, so sick. What did she say, that stupid bitch? She said, the reason I'm so sick sexually, my wedding night was a disaster. He had to give me a demonstration. Do you know what I'm telling you? A demonstration. To this day, I cannot look at a donut and eclair in the face. I told that joke at the White House. Just to watch Nancy Reagan go, what? Is that a mean bitch? Listen, nobody's any good, okay? We have nobody to choose from politically, all right? Who are we going to vote? Reagan is so deaf, you can't use Reagan. They said to him, who do you want for Secretary of the Interior? He went, what? And we had that ass for 2 years. Jesse Jackson is a great singer-dancer, but that's not enough to be a president. John Glenn, they sent an astronaut up, a monkey came down. There is no... But Nancy, I shouldn't do jokes, because like your royal family, like, they're elegant, and they keep them that way. Nancy Reagan, of all our first ladies, I think has been the most elegant of any. You look at Nancy Reagan, and I'm not kidding you, you just know she's a lady. You know, mean, not mean, and she's, you know, a little bitchy. We'll talk about that later. Oh, please. She told Helen Keller, you shut up, I'm still talking. But the point is... Actually, she told Helen Keller. But the point is, Nancy Reagan is a lady. You look at Nancy Reagan, and you know when she washes out her pantyhose, she washes out the whole pantyhose, not just the feet and the crotch like the rest of them. Am I right? No woman ever washes out her whole tights. You just wash it the smellies, a little here. Don't you hate tights? No matter what size I buy, the crotch is right down. You want to get it to be the jump on a horse, and it's right. A friend of mine had a baby, did not know, dropped it into the tights, did not know for 4 days. She was walking around going, I hear crying. Kid was going, Mommy. The drugs make me forget. Anybody else want to know anything? Yes. Nice dress. Yes, nice dress.
Who, me?
Yeah, no, I'm pointing over here. Just so I'm pointing to Marilyn. No, I'm pointing to you. Nice dress.
I read somewhere that you were once very fat. I can't believe that.
my darling, please. Even coming over here this time, customs wanted to keep my thighs. I mean, I was like a child. I weighed what I weigh now when I was born. I was the fattest. Oh, I was a very fat. Our front, the school class picture, I am the front row. I was just, and pretty as well. I was, the nurse looked at me, looked at the afterbirth, and they weren't sure which she threw away. People would look into my baby carriage, and they'd say, oh, what a pretty baby carriage. When you're ugly, you know, that's true. It's really why you become funny, because you better do something. People hate you. People like pretty people. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is why we all spend hours fluffing and fixing and carrying on. People hate me. My mother, all I ever heard growing up is, why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Why can't you be like your cousin Sheila? Sheila had died at birth. And I just... that can give you a twitch. Thank God my daughter, though, is very pretty, thank God. Oh. And what she isn't pretty, we'll fix up, because I believe, plastic surgery immediately. If it doesn't move, you can fix it on your body, do it. Right away, yes.
Joan, have you ever had a facelift?
Excuse me? Son of a bitch, I'm talking through up here. As a matter of fact, which I find fascinating, I had my nose done last January, and I was having it done for $5,000, which is like about 4,000 pounds, right? A lot of bucks, a lot of money. And they did the nose, and they made the nose look exactly like the old nose, so nobody would know. I had a tuck. But see, California, everybody has the... My neighbor, you want to hear what's exciting? My neighbor's Marlene Dietrich. Remember her? She was about 84 years old. The woman looks better than all of us put together. It has been pulled and snipped, and she'll come out, and she looks... whatever her age is, beige dress, beige shoes, the earrings, the clip. The woman looks fabulous. It has been pulled and snipped and pulled and snipped. And they took all that extra skin. They made another woman that walks right beside her. She has never Dale Evans. But Marlena looks fabulous. The only trouble is the knees are now the boobs are now the ears, and she talks them back here. But first time she said hello, I thought she pooped. Isn't that a fascinating story? She was making conversation. I was lighting matches, trying to be polite. You know what I'm talking about. In the States, when you make a silent fart, you light a match. Don't you have that? If it turns blue, it was you. Don't you have that? Which is why I will never acknowledge a silent poop or a fart. Any person that acknowledges a silent poop, you're crazy. If you're in a lobby, just walk fast, pretend, you know, you're making like... Pretend you're talking to someone behind you. I liked you on Love Boat. Oh, shit. And if you make a silent poop in an elevator, blame the person next to you. Pig. Oh. And if you're home, blame your dog, because dogs can't answer back, right? Stop that, Sparky. You have to be clever. Blame it on the fish. Gotta change that water. Oh. Yes, anyway, yes, oh yes, gentlemen.
After that very sheltered upbringing, how on earth did you get involved with show business?
Yes, and a very sheltered upbringing. My father is a doctor, and they wanted, my sister is a lawyer, a barrister. They wanted no part of show business. And I don't know, I wanted to be an actress, okay? I wanted to be Carol Brown, who's my good friend. I want to be somebody, I want to be Vivian Lee. You want to be very dramatic. And I started making the rounds, and nobody could care less. And then I would meet friends and be funny to secretaries. And the secretaries would say to me, oh, you're funny. Go in and tell them you're a comedian. And then someone told me, and I was typing the whole time. I was an office temporary. I was a waitress. Oh, can you imagine me as a waitress? I mean, I would do jokes. They'd say, you know, you got any crabs? I go, not since the chef left. I mean, just... What comes with the liver? A stomach ache. And so I started doing, then someone said you can make $6 a night in comedy clubs, and you wouldn't have to type during the day. You could make the rounds then as an actress. So I stole right off the television set. I went and I started copying lines from Johnny Carson show, and that's how it all started. And then I worked with Second City, which was the equivalent then of the establishment here at that time. This is the early 70s, and just evolved. But I never thought who wants to be a fool? You know, you don't grow up, a little girl says, I can't wait to grow up and make an ass of myself. I mean, you just, you know, you think I want to be very dramatic and get them all back. And I work clubs. Oh, I work clubs. You pass the hat wouldn't come back. I mean, I work mafia clubs where you'd pass the hat and the head would come back in. better slow down here. And I was so bad. When you look back as a performer, when you start out, you know, even now, like every 12th show, you go, oh, I was lousy tonight. But I mean, when you first start, you're always like, a monk once broke a 20-year vow of silence to heckle me. I just, when you turn around, someone says you stink, and it's your own agent calling. How you go? So I had a 7 long years before anything happened, before I made a living at all in the business. But I don't want to bore you with my problem. Anybody else want to know anything? Yes, all right.
Since you've been over here...
Yes.
Have you read the British papers like the News of the World?
My favorite. Yeah, no, I like trash. I'm sorry. You can have it, the London Times. Who gives a damn? You know what I'm telling you? Who cares? I like to see heads without bodies. You know what I mean? Prime Minister found in love nest with 16 sailors. I mean, that, okay. In the States, I read the National Enquirer, which is, I cannot go to the bathroom without the Enquirer. I open it up and I go, automatically. It is... This week's issue, they have Hitler's bar mitzvah pictures. I mean, you find... This is, that, and they always have children that recovered from terrible accidents, you know what I mean? Kid with a screwdriver through his head. I live. And now I help Dad around the garage. I mean, I just... Those are the things I live for. I love that, and the other thing I live for, which I think you have over here too. I wait every month for Cosmopolitan magazine. Do you have that here? Which is all sex. I love it because the editor takes everything she can think of and makes it sexual. How to use your nipples to get a better apartment. I mean, if you rent out your uterus, does this make you a landlady? Things to crochet while your husband makes your mother. I mean, you just This month, the big article is how to achieve multiple orgasms. Something else now at my age to worry about. Multiple orgasms. I can't even get my toaster to pop up at the same time. If 3 orgasms in 10 years is multiple, I've achieved it. I will achieve multiple orgasms the same day Stevie Wonder hits a hole in one. It's... Close, Stevie. Who is going to tell Stevie Wonder he's wearing a macrame plant holder on his head? I did a show with him. He had a philodendron coming out of his ear, and nobody would say that. This is an egg that's split, obviously. Look what can happen to you. Turn around. Stand up. 3 of them together. Would you want that? Count your heartbeats. Yes.
What we want to know is...
Oh, please.
What do you use for birth control?
Something your mother should have used. Are you triplets?
Twins and a sister.
It's wonderful. You just look fabulous. That's terrific. Did you always dress the same way?
Yes.
Everybody's
dressed the same way tonight.
Yes, I know, but you look, that's just wonderful. Are you married, the 3 of you?
I say so, yes.
To brothers? I mean,
well, on and off.
Okay. Birth control, I imagine we all use the same thing. You know what's very big now, birth control-wise, in the States, is the sponge. Do you have that here yet? The sponge. No. It's terrific. It's a little hard to swallow, but it is well... It tastes a lot better than the sponge. It tastes a lot better than foam, but it's funny. You're really stupid. It's funny you ask because what do you use? Seriously, what do you... We can talk. We're women. It's the 80s. Women can talk. We can express. What do you use? What do you use? Are these hard? Are these...
Abstinence.
Well, I know, but besides, you don't use... Do they have the coil over here?
Yes.
A friend of mine put a slinky in her. Isn't that trendy? Slinky! Now she can make love go downstairs at the same time. I gave up my coil. 1, because it was starting to rust. I'll tell you the truth. And also, I was picking up Radio Free Europe, and you... You feel like an idiot. You're walking through the supermarket, you hear, this is the voice of freedom, and it's coming from your pants, and you're... And every time I crossed my leg, the garage door would open. my neighbor's crazy. I drive it down the block and cross my legs in the garage. Beverly Hills was a scams. Yes, anybody else want to know anything? Oh, thank God. Oh, yes. Well, I don't know. Fight among yourselves. Yes.
You often take over the Johnny Carson show in
Yes.
America, and I've seen you many times, and you're quite superb on that. Would you consider doing a talk show over here?
I would, and I know you're all gonna think, oh, she's just saying this because she's standing here and she has to be nice to us. Then she'll go to Germany and say the same thing. But, yes, I like to live here in Berlin a lot. Because you're all so good looking. You know, I was thin in Austria. I felt so good. Hello, Joe! But I would love to be over here. I just think I love the history. I'm a history buff, 17th, 18th century history buff. I run around going, look where we are, look what happened here, you know. So wouldn't I love to do a talk show over here? Oh, yes, in a second. Plus, then I wouldn't have a daughter with my accent. Wouldn't that be nice to have your daughter like talk, you know, because in America, even, the accents are so... I met Gloria Vanderbilt. You know, oh, that's another beauty. But, is that a puss on Gloria Vanderbilt? And I asked for an autograph. She wrote on my ass. I'm a mean bitch, man. But she talks very... And I had her on the Johnny Carson show, right? And before the show, you meet the guests, right? Which is nice. You go over and say, hello, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. And they said, Joan, this is Gloria Vanderbilt. Gloria Vanderbilt, this is Joan, right? And I go, how do you do? She goes, fon. I said, what did she say? Fon. I said, this bitch is putting me on, right? So it was a joke. I go, fon. And she invited me for the weekend. So I like the sound. A nice voice and a good sound sounds so elegant, you know.
Are Englishmen different?
Are Englishmen different? Well, I'm married to an Englishman. Different from Americans, I imagine. They're different, I'll tell you, when you're making love, they say things like, have you arrived? But, at least I think that's what they used to say. It's been so long. Oh, Marilyn, we've had sex once in 3 years, okay? He was doing push-ups and I slipped in. And But he's elegant, my husband. That's what I like about my husband. He's got style. Yes?
You seem to know a lot about rock stars. Do you think they're generally good-looking? Rock
stars, on the whole, are really Uggs. I mean, you really stop it. Oh, Yoko Ono, can we discuss? Oh, please. Oh, wow, Yoko Ono. Yeah, Mick Jagger, who I think is very sexy. I just think the lips are stupid looking, you know what I mean? And, no, because oh, God, if I could just do an apology. But, no, Mick Jagger has big lips. Am I telling the truth? Can we talk here? Mick Jagger has got lips. I saw him suck an egg out of a chicken. I got so he can play a tuba from both ends. This man has got childbearing lips. You should get No, I think they're weird looking, you know what I'm saying? And then you have some that are just so gorgeous, so glamorous. But most of them is very strange, I think, you know. Barry Manilow, a nose. If he was on hard drugs, he could inhale Peru. And yes. Are you wearing anything? Because where I'm sitting, it looks like, you know, like an old Peter Sellers movie. Oh, okay. Nice body, bitch.
Where did you get your phrase, can we talk, from?
From really talking to audiences, and I never knew I said it. Does that make sense? I would talk to audiences and then after a while in the States, they would come with little signs they would hold up, can we talk? And then I realized, we said, oh, can we talk here? Really like saying, let's cut out everything and let's get right down to the bottom and can we really discuss what's really true? And that's how it started. And now it's funny because if I come on a stage and when they know me, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be like 10 minutes doing my act and then I'll say, can we talk? And the whole audience goes, yay! And it's almost like, become like a trademark now, which is wonderful. And now, but that means that when you sign autographs, it takes longer. You can't write like, dear Teresa. You can't just say, love Joan Rivers. You have to, can we talk? You know, because they expect that now, so you run out of pens. It's not easy. I mean, just, or if you're smart, you keep the bitch's pen. Thank you, Teresa. Cross and gold. Yes.
Do you like to have a man admire you passionately?
Oh, please. I once had a rapist fall asleep in the middle. I have no sense. sex appeal. My husband married me in 4 days out of pity. I have had men on death row say to me, let's just be friends. And it's my fault. See, I used to be good in bed, and then I started waking up. I didn't know. It goes back to my mother not telling me anything. Because I thought that you took turns moving. Whoever got the good position moved, and the other just lay there and thought about things, you know. And I have tried everything. I bought the book, The Joy of Sex, which upset me because my husband's pictures are in there. And you know when you know you're in trouble when you come home and he's making out with an inflatable doll? Then you really know. Can't get worse. But my body is just, well, it's the age. I'm at the age now. Women, men as they get older, which is a fact of life, get better looking. And women, I have reached the age now. I had my first hot flash yesterday. My whole nightgown caught fire. I said, look, the burning bush. I got so upset. Oh. And my doctor says I won't have any more children now because the hot flash was so bad, all my eggs are poached. You gotta go, and your body starts to fall. You look in the mirror, you see your mother, you go, oh, my boobies have fallen so low. I bought a leather brassiere, and my husband said, new shoes. I could nurse the villages if I was on the Matterhorn. I have reached I can pet my dogs without bending over. My body has just gone to hell, and it's very depressing. You look at me and go, oh, look at this. My thighs, we walk around, they go, we're walking. I'm at the age now, I don't sunbathe, because why depress the vultures? I mean, it's just, Anybody else want to know? Yes?
Tell me, are you still a friend of Elizabeth Taylor's?
I'm a big... Elizabeth Taylor, may I just say, is my two best friends. In the whole... And I don't do Elizabeth Taylor jokes anymore, because I think... No. If you beg me, I might say one or two things, but I really talked, and she lost weight, I think, because of me. Because the woman was a fatso. She remade National Velvet, and she played the horse. I mean, but the men love her, because all a woman needs is a pretty face and a trick pelvis, and you're home free. Anybody else want to know anything? Yes?
If you're a woman and you're well known, papers always want to write your age, but if you're a man, they never print it.
No.
Do you mind people knowing your age?
Yes, I get very depressed. Oh, you do? I was born in 1962. And the room next to me was 1963. No, it upset, because let me just put it this way. I was raped by a Viking, okay? Eric the Stupid, that's how old I am. No, when you figure out how old you are, you just want to lie down right now, cross your arms. Yeah, but, because a man, again, as long as a man is good looking, that's why, going back to the girl with the small, stupid ring, get the stuff while you're young. Any woman, while you're young, should grab. Listen to me. You're a first wife, right? Act like a second wife. First wives are stupid. Whatever they get, they go, thank you. Get it while you're young. First wife, thank you. Thank you for the shitty ring. Thank you for the cloth cover. Second bitch has already learned, what the hell is this? Get the jewelry, and if you're single, don't sleep around unless you get a ring. Are you single? The girl asked me the question?
Yes.
Don't sleep with anybody while you're pretty and young unless you get a ring, and if he wants a ring back, swallow the stone. Get nothing back. No man will look through shit for a diamond, but Mrs. Thatcher told me that.
You seem to enjoy embarrassing people, but what embarrasses you?
Everything. Standing here in front of all of you, I'm just going... I'll tell you, terrible things embarrassing. When you're in a ladies' room and you walk out and you've got a piece of toilet paper on your heel and you don't know, and you think you look so damn hot and you're walking around the hallway. That or when a dog makes out on your leg. Do you just die? You're standing at a friend's house, you go, oh, that's all right. Oh, that's all right. Take that as a compliment. Embarrassing. Oh, well, what about when you're in a supermarket, you just bought a year's supplies worth of Kotex, right? Do you have that here? Yeah, a year's supplies worth of Kotex, and you're walking through the supermarket, and there's a guy you went to school with. I always go, I'm making a quilt. When you're in the bathroom, and you flush the John, and it gets all choked up, and you say, well, I'll flush it again, and things will go down, and it starts to rise up. And you go, don't overflow, don't overflow! And you go back to the dinner table with a big wet mark on your chin. You want to hear the most embarrassing that ever happened to me? In the States, not that I'm getting older, but they have, like, brown marks start to come out on women's hands, right? And they have a product over there called porcelana. Do you have anything like that over here? Where it takes the brown spots off your hands, right? So I figured, well, I don't want to see these stupid old brown marks, right? Because they really look like liver spots. My dog is trying to eat my knuckles. So I went out and I bought some porcelana cream to put on my hands. I went like that, and my nipple disappeared. So embarrassing. But everything embarrasses me. That's, anybody else? Oh, yes, hello.
You work at the most incredible speed. Have you ever taken any drugs of any sort?
If I took drugs, could you imagine? California, though, California, where we live, is so druggy now. I mean, like John DeLorean. He once sneezed in my face. I felt good for 9 days. I mean, major drugs. The man's favorite movie was Tootsie. I mean, it was just... But over here, I flew back with, on the plane with Linda and Paul McCartney. The only difference was they were outside of the plane. So I just... Oh, Paul McCartney knew how much his luggage weighed down to the ounce. I'm telling you. California, everything is... California, if it's white and it's on the table, they sniff it. I have a friend who OG'd in a beauty shop on dandruff. I mean, just went like... The little Jewish lady went... Because Jewish people make me laugh. We're Jewish, and I bought my husband a home computer, but instead of an apple, I bought him a prune, because they're Jewish computer. And so you punch up like in a real computer, and it says 3 times 3 is 9. On the Jewish computer, it says 3 times 3 is 9 for you, 750. Silly computer. Yes, hello.
What actor or entertainer do you admire most in this country?
In this country, I don't know, again, because I haven't been here to see that many entertainers, but so I have to know them from the American television. Well, first of all, Monty Python, without a stop. But, oh, I mean, I was the first one to see the Monty Python movie, literally, in the States when it came over, the newest one. Just, that was it. I was online in, look at all places, Kansas City. Well, I was also the only one online in Kansas City. Oh, don't go. Promise me you will never go to Kansas City if you see America. The stupidest place in the whole world. I have a theory. I think intelligence has to do with salt water. Both coasts, brilliant. As you come inland, dumber, 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 dumber. The apex of stupidity, Kansas City. They are the worst place in the whole world. And they didn't know what I was talking about. And I would do a joke, and they would go, it was like talking to 2,000 RCA Victor dogs. I mean, and I came on stage, and there was a woman, this is a true story, nursing a child in the front row. Do you know what it's like to walk on the stage? You look at us, we look at you, and you look... There was a woman in the... You're not going to do that, are you? Oh! Who would you watch, me or the nursing mother? A woman in the front row in front of 2,000 people whipped out the old lunch bucket and is sitting there. Who would you watch, me or the nursing mother? Kid was 14 years old. Who would you watch? Turned out it wasn't her, thank God, but it was the worst. So I had more trouble with Kansas City understanding me than I think I'm having over here, if that makes, you know. So it just depends. You're either on the same level or you're not. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not on my same level. When you do a joke and they go, what? Because in any other society, I would have been put away. And there's no question about it. So just keep walking, you know. Anybody else want to know anything?
Joan?
Yes.
Joan Malinsky.
Joan Malinsky.
Why didn't you change your name to Joan Collins? You're obviously very jealous of her.
It's not that I'm jealous of that older woman. It's that I feel... No, Joan is a dear, dear, dear friend of mine, and I've known many of her tricks. And... what I like is she's not ashamed of her bed sores, and she gets up. I love Joan Collins. She comes on the Johnny Carson show with me, and we really do a battle of bitchiness back and forth, and it's really like playing tennis because she's so bright, and you go whap, and she hits it right back to you. I said to her, who was the best man you ever had in bed? And she said, your husband. And it was just, she's divine. For her age, she looks smashing. Oh, well, because in California, they all work out. Jane, do you do the Jane Fonda exercise tape here? Did you have that yet? Yeah. Is that Hitler in a curly wig? I cannot. If you find yourself making obscene gestures to the television, if God wanted me to lift my leg, he would have put a string on the end of my toe. I don't do any exercise. But I really sincerely like Joan Collins. Anybody else? Yes.
Which is your favourite American TV show?
My favorite American TV show. Do you think I'm crazy? The Carson Show. Do you think I'm going to say anything else? Actually, you want to know what I watch? Masterpiece Theater. Wait, I salivate. That's all your... we just watched Elizabeth I with Glenda Jackson, and we taped it. I got into bed with Elizabeth at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning with the papers and wine and cheese and watched her whole life till 8 o'clock at night. So we wait for, upstairs, downstairs drove me crazy. I went nuts for that, you know. So I wait for what we call Masterpiece Theater, which are all your good shows, Boyle. I don't watch Dallas. I don't watch any of that stuff. Well, I'm working at night. You know what I'm saying? So God forbid I'm home to watch Dynasty. That means I can't pay for the dress. So that's the way it goes. I watch any old movie I can get my hands on. Yes?
Do you treasure any show business experience?
Do I treasure any show? Yes. I'll tell you what I treasure, okay? But it's a serious question. Everyone can go to sleep now. Two things I treasure. One, I was working in Greenwich Village, and I was starting out, and people... And in those days, I was doing mild little jokes, you know what I'm saying? Really little jokes. But they were very outrageous for the time, okay? And people were not as polite to me as they are now. They would get up, they would spit in your face, they would walk out. You knew they didn't like it. Yeah, well, screw you, same to you, and they walk out. So I was really bombing, and Lenny Bruce came to see me one night and came backstage and said to me, you're right and they're wrong. And I lived on that for 4 years. Every time I would bomb, I'd say, well, Lenny Bruce thinks I'm okay. That was one. And the second thing was Johnny Carson, who gave me my first break on American television. I was 7 years again in these terrible clubs, and nobody would take a chance with me. They would bring me up and they would say, you're too wild, you're too outrageous, you're too this, you're too that. Nobody would take a chance. And finally, they put me on as a pity booking, and they put me on the last, literally, 10 minutes of the show, because my friend was Bill Cosby, who had just hit very big, and he said, give her a break, give her a chance. And they put me on for 10 minutes at the end of the Carson show, expecting total disaster. And at the end of it, Johnny Carson said to me on the air, you're going to be a star. And that changed my life. And I had put a bad check into the mail that day, you know what I mean? And the next day I went to the bank to cover it with the Carson money, and they were nice to me at the bank, and I thought, ooh, something's changed. Something's happened. They had seen me the night before. And those were the two big experiences. One was Lenny Bruce, one was Johnny Carson. Because I'm telling you, I really had a rough time. I'm delighted. I'm 17 years now in the business, doing well, okay? I still get into a limousine. I still go, am I lucky? Am I a lucky bitch? Because those 7 years was so rough, I take nothing for granted. I go, oh, God, I'm staying at Claridge's. You know, they should do it so good. So. Anybody else? Yes, hello. Hello up there.
Hello there. Who is your favourite film star, and do you fantasize about him?
My favorite film star is Robert Redford, and my fantasy is that we'll be in bed together and he'll tell me he's gay. Joan, I have news for you. What is it, Bob? I'm gay. Aw, shit. The gentleman behind you, yes.
Do you think America will ever have a woman president?
I think America right now politically is in a lot of trouble. We have nobody really terrific. There have only been 2 people I liked or felt sorry for in all of politics. I mean, when you look back what we've had, whether they're men, first of all, every president's wife has been a drunk, so God forbid we don't want, you know. Oh, stop and think politically. Mamie Eisenhower was a drunk. Do you remember her? They said it was ear trouble. She couldn't hear them say you've had enough. Every president's wife. Betty Ford, they kept her in the Oval Office. She wouldn't bump into things for those guys. Lady Bird Johnson, who began to drink when she realized those 2 daughters came out of her. Remember the Johnson girls? Linda Bird. Pat Nixon, who began to drink when she realized she had to sleep with him. I mean, could you sleep with Nixon without a big drink in you? Think about that one. I'm ready for fun. Now, tell you, Mrs. Thatcher's doing a great job. I would like to see a woman in the White House. The only one that doesn't drink is Nancy, because she's very classy, you know. And we don't think she drinks. If she does drink, it would be something like wonderful, like Cristal champagne, you know. And that wouldn't be like stupid Ripple. That's... and Mrs. what's her name? The other one who you couldn't blame. Oh, the one that had the ugly daughter. Who was just our president? Amy, the Carters. Oh, that little girl. Oh, it made you ashamed to be in America. She'd go on TV. She one time lit the Christmas tree lights of the White House, little Amy Carter, and scratched her crotch on television. I was shocked. I was working in Denver. I said, God almighty, the president's daughter's got crabs. I was devastated. Anybody else want to know anything? Yes, hello again.
Now you're getting older. Will you miss going...
Excuse me? Pollution did this.
You're the only woman who ever taught me anything about gynecology. Will you miss going to the gynecologist now you're older?
I think you have to go more often because it's the only chance you get. No. You know you're in trouble when your gynecologist gets nauseous. Which is true. I have a gynecologist who does jokes. Do you know what it's like to be in the stirrups and have your doctor walk in wearing a snorkel? I mean, it's just carrying a pool sweep. My guy does like jokes. Dr. Schwartz at your cervix. My guy does I'm dilated to meet you. Say ah. There are my car keys. Back unless you learn to throw your voice. Hi, Doc. I just dropped dead. How's that nice wife of yours? So I should leave you now. I think. Well, what a pleasure talking to all of you. I thank you so much for being here. May I just say, you should have a lovely baby. You should get a bigger ring. You three are terrific. Thank you all so much. I think we've all learned something very wise here tonight. What have we learned, you stupid bitch? Thank you for asking. What is that you're playing, you know me? What is that you're playing? Battle of the Republic, that's perfect, that's beautiful. Did you write that? No, oh, could you keep playing that? That would be very nice. Because I think we've all learned something very wise here tonight. Yeah, what have we learned? Thank you for asking. I think you've now learned what... You may shovel along during this part. I think you've now learned what a good person I am. I think you've learned what makes me happy is to have made you happy. Could you build that a little, please? I'm really getting to that. Because if I could come on a stage and make one person laugh, one child, could you build that, please? If I could make, God damn it, even build it up. If I could make a child laugh, a mother smile, a shut-in sit-up. If I can do this, yes, would you please play it now? If I can make one person laugh, keep playing. If I can make a child laugh, a mother smile, a shut-in sit-up. If I can do this, bigger, bigger. If I can do this, yes, bigger, bigger, God damn it, bigger, bigger, bigger. Bigger, bigger, bigger. If I can do this, and if I can pick up 25,000 pounds for doing this, I'll be anywhere. Good night, thank you so much. A pleasure to be